Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. And, I'd like to say thank you to my colleague who covered me up at the time I was, under the weather last week. And I'm talking about Lawrence Mulungu. Thank you so much for actually, covering me up. And this evening, we do have, your program, My Point of View, right here, and to host it. My name is Chaza right here, and I'll be joined by, my colleagues that will help me to add the voices to the stories that we do have this week. We have Mr. Mukelebai right here with us. Good evening, Mr. Mukelebai, and welcome to the program.
Thank you, Chaza. Good evening, viewers, and looking forward. Good evening, CJ.
Here with us. Good evening, CJ, and welcome to the program. Unfortunately, he's probably having some connectivity problem there, because I can see his mic is on mute, and we can see it's all dark right on his space. Mr. Mukelebai, how's been
so far
your
so
week?
Good. I can't complain much. I think I'm delighted that I have some guests that have come to visit, and I'm expecting more visitors next week, all from Zambia. My fellow Zambian that lives in the diaspora, they are coming to visit me as well. So tukesabulia bwino bwalinga bais. So it will be really nice. I can't wait for them. And already the one that we have,
That's
yes. So it's amazing. I can't wait to speak Bemba and Nyanja and Lozi with my friends that are coming. At least it's nice to at least speak Mutunduen with your friends.
I can only imagine that.
Twalikatana fwebe na Zambia kuno twaikala kuma diaspora. So berami bepa tita twalite mwana. We visit one another and we are a big one united family. So I'm happy that ofo twate mwana ofo twaikatana fwema Zambians when we live abroad. Chokako weka. I love it. Very soon we are celebrating.
That's a nice thing to hear, really. And how's the weather like? Because here in Zambia right now, I think most parts of Zambia are very hot and abnormally hot, I would say. How is it out there?
We are actually now we are getting into falls. This is falls, autumn. What would you call it? Falls. This is now a time where we are going to soon to go into winter. It's chilly and the leaves are falling down and the trees are losing their leaves to prepare. They're preparing for the winter. So we are getting ready as well. And most of the schools will be closed next week. And in some other part of the Scandinavian, they will close next week, the other week. So there will be 1 week school holidays. They call it Hosteferia or Falls holiday, something like that. So it would be nice to have people around visiting one another, and the kids will be out of school for 1 week. So it's amazing. So we are looking forward, and that's the time we're going to have celebrate our independence. Some of us in 2 weeks we're gonna have an independence. So we are waiting to meet other Zambians where we're gonna sit and have a good time together and enjoy the Zambian food, because we do prepare Zambian traditional food. Our independence in the diaspora is like Matevetu.
That's a great thing, Mr. Mukelebai. I must presume that you have so many stories to tell us, about what happens right there in the diaspora. But I'll leave it up, for another day. For now, let's get straight to the first story that we do have tonight, and on the other side, we get to have reactions.
Thank you.
appears our director is having, a technical hitch there, and maybe he's so interested in hearing more from you, Mr. Mkelebai. I really don't know, which one is which.
Well, I think he I know he's struggling with his internet, but he can cut us to bring the program if he wants to really, if he can now connect. So otherwise, like I was saying, that we are looking.
Retired Archbishop of the Metropolitan Archdiocese of Lusaka, His Grace Most Reverend Teresia Mpundu, is unhappy with the UPND government and accuses it of using police to oppress citizens like Edgar Lungu.
They are liars about, the police, they're supposed to be doing this. The police are supposed to protect him, not the leaders, but the population from their own leaders. They come up with all kinds of flimsy things. Now I am told if you go for jogging, it is a crime. It is just all kinds of rubbish when they speak. There's nothing. This man has as much right as everybody. No, he is a very important person, and he has all kinds of secrets about Zambia. Nonsense. There are no secrets at all. It is a blue lie, a shameless lie. They should let people be free with civic rights.
Archbishop Teresia Mpundu further encourages President Hakainde Hichilema to concentrate on fighting corruption in his government, saying Edgar Lungu is no longer a factor.
We have elected criminals in government. These elected criminals, they band with outside criminals to deprive the people of their money, to deprive the people of their heritage, and so on and so forth. So that is what we are. They are telling everyone things are all right. They're not all right. They're not all right. Oh yeah, petrol will go down. All this will go down, and so on and so forth. They don't speak the truth. And the theft in high places, in the government itself. They are finding one the ways and means of not addressing the real issue. And the real issue is corruption at the highest places, where the state comes together in partnership with the crooks to take things away from our people.
That's Emeritus, Bishop there, Teresia Mpundu. Your reactions are, Mr. Mkelebai, to those, remarks.
Thank you so much, Chaza. I think the bishop is just frustrated with the current situation that is taking place in Zambia. Especially when it comes to hardship, economically hardship that are taking place. And we all know the attributes that attributed to this kind of situation. And him being the person that is in charge, or that is close to the people, and those that are close to him, they are telling him about the sufferings of the people in the communities. And this is how he's trying to come out, to speak to the nation on the government. We know, we respect the Catholics. They have the right to speak how they feel and what they see. But sometimes it is them, the churches, when they are involving themselves into politics, that they should be factual. They should come out with true reflecting stories, unlike calling other people or calling the leadership liars when you know you don't have enough information. Mpundu, the bishop, should be honest when he's himself. He's a man of God. He should not just be reacting on impulse just because people have complained to him. He should look at the history where we've come from. And for him to talk about, first and foremost, he was talking about restraining someone from jogging. The government has not stopped anyone from jogging. I know that he's trying to infer on by Edgar Lungu. Edgar Lungu has not been refrained from jogging. Edgar Lungu was using that platform to mobilize himself or rather campaign, because now he was attracting a lot of people, which may have put his life as an ex-president in jeopardy, in danger. This is a president whose property, a TV, of all things, a television set was stolen. You don't even think, you people who are so-called Christians, you don't see the importance of protecting a man of such kind of caliber. There were people, we are people in Zambia. There are people who are not happy with what Edgar Lungu did whilst in office. He's done a lot of things. People have died under his nose. You think those people are smiling, are happy, and they meet him on the street, you think they cannot harm him? Ma priest mule kwata kwechinka. You think being an ex-president, head of state, you can run anywhere without security details and start attracting so many people without protection. Mule kwate chinka ngabai paya ba Edgar Lungu. You are the first people. You'll be the first people that will come and condemn the government for not protecting or stopping this from having occurred. So mule kwate chinka ma priest bampundu. Mule kwate chinka. You will be the first people who will be talking and blaming the government for not protecting. What this current government is doing is to make sure that the head of state is protected. He does not feel, he thinks he's being popular. He thinks he's coming back into politics. He thinks he's getting more momentum. But you have to understand one thing. Many people lost their jobs. Many people lost their lives under his nose. They cannot blame the people who directly fired them. Most of them, they have lost properties, monies. They are destitute. You think those people are happy? And you let the president running the streets, jogging around without proper security? Mwema priest mule kwata kwe chinka. You shouldn't just opening your mouth just because you want to please certain group of individuals. The priest should be very, very neutral in this circumstance, not coming out like that, trying to get involved into politics, because we shall retaliate and use the same words against you, the priest. There's a huge difference between Hakainde Hichilema's government and Edgar Lungu's government. Where were you? Where were these priests when those chaps that were being killed during and under Mr. Lungu's nose? Where were they? What did they say? Today, they want to blame the government that has not even shed any blood, that has not even fired any tear gas, that has not arrested people without any charges, on frivolous charges, that has not stopped anybody from campaigning, or that does not stop anyone from doing. Come on, Bo priest. Where are you? In which world are you in? So this priest must be honest. I used to think that man was very honest, but to hear him saying things without backing them with facts, with any evidence, that's a problem. Then I have to wonder, when you are a priest, you speak things with backup. You don't just open your mouth anyhow. Bring some references. Get a specific case, like you have picked the Changwalungu issue. Was the government necessitated Was it okay for the government to advise the president, the ex-president, to be careful from jogging and attracting such population or gathering? The president has been seen flashing symbols. What does that mean? If you call yourself, I'm retired, I'm no longer active in politics, what does that make the other opposition think? So I feel the Bampundu balekwata kwechinka belala ndefintu because balefokusta praise certain individuals, certain sector of people. Let's be honest and serious, and let's be factual. Let's speak the truth. Say the truth to shame the devil. You cannot make comparison with government yakwa Lungu na government yakwa HH, and you want to say HH government is human right violation, is doing all kind of atrocities within 2 years. Mule kwate chinka wufi mulelanda mulande fepa bunga, then we can understand to say things are okay, and we know the reason why things are expensive today. We know who caused all this, but we don't want to go into politics because we don't want also the UPND to run away from being responsible from the issues that we voted them for. They should sort out this problem, and they are in control. It is just a matter of time. This problem will come to pass. There are certain issues that are international, caused by international conflicts, and certain things that are caused by lack of what we don't have in Zambia. For example, fuel. We don't have an oil refinery. We don't have. We don't produce oil. We cannot dictate the price. So if they increase,
Mr. Mkelewa,
who are we?
Allow me to cut you short and just get CJ's reaction also before we get to the next story.
Thank you. No, I'll
CJ,
go on because I feel sad.
Thank you, Chaza. Good evening.
Okay, CJ, welcome, and please do. Please do.
All right. Having a bit of connectivity issues. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can get you.
All right. Okay. Okay. My view of that clip. The clergy bishops. They.
CJ, you are terribly breaking. I don't know, Mr. Mkelewa, how are you getting him? To my end here, he's actually breaking.
He is breaking.
You still can't hear me?
Now we can hear you now.
All right. Okay. So I'll say my view of that clip of Bishop Mpundu is that we do understand that the clergy speak on behalf of the marginalized, the people that are oppressed, and they do give a voice to the voiceless. My concern is that from that clip, he seems to be coming out with some anger, okay? And there are a lot of assertions that that are not evidence-based, okay? That are being raised. And yeah, we do understand things are not well. Everyone is complaining about the mealie meal, about the fuel, the cost of living going high. But I think there should be common ground where the clergy are able to speak in such a way that is going to bring peace or unite those that seem to be at loggerheads. To some degree, it sounds like adding fuel to the fire. Okay. I think, Zambia, everything is political. Everything is highly politicized, and in the end we find that the real issues are not given the attention that they require, because everything is getting politicized, and even the church seems to be jumping into this political train of political battle. For issues, especially with issues dealing with the former first president, that is supposed to be an office, and even when he moves and he's invited to these to the churches and the like, I think there should be a provision where government provides, or he moves with an entourage that is part of or organized, whether it's is it a cabinet office and the like, so that his movements and whatever are done properly without him being at risk. But most of the time we see the former president moving among his former political party, or his political party, and it creates a political what can I say? People now start to question if he is still in politics. Okay.
Political reaction.
Yeah, it creates a political impression. Okay. So I think let there be a way that the former president can move as a statesman, and he's seen to do things that are building the nation, that are bringing peace. There's the foundation that they had formed. Is it Edgar Lungu Foundation? We're supposed to be hearing more of that, and activities that are building communities and that kind of a thing. But with the kind of situation and his current movements, they're bringing about all this speculation. Churches themselves, even when they're inviting political leaders, I think let them do it in a good way, whereby people from whether it's the government, the current government and the like, are also invited, so that it lessens on this, because to some degree one would take it that churches are adding to this feud that is going on. So for now, I would be happy if churches would be on the trajectory of bringing about peace and bridging this gap and all this aggression that seems to be going up, unlike adding fuel to it. Those are my views. Thank you, Charles.
All right, CJ. Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Mkilebai.
Ama-churches ama-elders ama-priest ebakwata omulomo ebaleefaayo okuleeta enkondo, ebaleleeta olubuli between ama-politicians, because what they say when they sit with this politician, they speak different. Ebakwata, they are two-tongued, double-tongued creatures. They are liars. They are the people who are creating all this confusion. All in the name of, they are hiding using the Bible. Let them just be honest. Let them be open. Not if these they are gossipers, in short. Churches.
On the other hand, even politicians are busy using. Politicians will use whatever avenue is available.
And they are using. And the churches are getting the bait. They are falling into the ditch. They have been. And now for them to come out, it will be too late, because they are so deeply involved in politics. Before you know it, they start standing as presidential candidates. The same priest.
Politician.
So, Mr. Mkilebai, CJ. So then, how should these clergy come out, personally? Because even when they are angered, they have these emotions. They are feeling it personally. The moment they express themselves, it is, mistaken, to have been, a representation of the people. How then can they detach themselves, from the two respects, taking it personally or representing the people?
But they have to be honest, and they should be neutral. they should not seem to be partisan. They should actually be neutral. They shouldn't also be factual. Let them be factual. Let them make references to a specific case. They should specify the cases, and like just talking from the blues and creating the impression as though it is true. They are getting propaganda as gospel truth, leaving the facts. Let them get information from the government institutions, well reported, well articulated, and report. If they have disputes, let them dispute it with facts, not using rumors and innuendos. And then you come and make a statement. To me, that's BS.
It's difficult to separate the person from the office, because for them, even when they are not in church, they carry that title. They are called by that title. Okay, and their office, they are calling. It's not something that they just put on. It's a lifestyle. It's supposed to be their lifestyle. So you find when they are making statements, people will always associate it with their calling, with their office. And their office is an office of peace. Okay? It's supposed to bring peace and not gaslight. So
and love.
Even in the way that they express themselves, they need to be mindful that even if it's to stand and say, this is my personal opinion, the people that are listening out there will still attach that to his office, because it's difficult to separate the two. Whether they are in the church, in the, or outside, we still hold them to that office, to that title. So all they have to do is to make sure that whatever they are bringing out, whether it is at a personal level, let it not be gaslighting, because they are supposed to bring people together. If they are seen to be taking sides, it will also bring that division, that conflict, even in the church, because churches, there are people who are allied to different political parties. And so if a priest is seen to be siding with this party and seems to be promoting this particular party, you're going to see that divide even in the members. It will get to spill over, and that's not what we want. Okay. Yeah, they do have a right to express themselves, but their calling and is always attached to whatever they do. Let me end there.
All right, thank you so much, CJ Msamkeleba. Let's proceed and take a look at, the next story. And the point to take home is that it's very difficult to separate, the two, the person holding the office and the office itself, especially that of a clergyman. Let's proceed to the next story.
Council, give us an update on former UNZASU president.
Good afternoon. So the current happenings are that Gabriel this morning was moved from Kanakantapa to Charleston Police, where he was held. I went to see him together with his the political party that he belongs to, which is a Socialist Party. Now, what was disturbing was that the officer in charge promised us that today we'll conclude with everything. They're doing certain formalities, only to be told that he has been moved to Lusaka Correctional Facility, where we've just come to confirm if he's there, and we can confirm to the country that Gabriel is now locked up at Lusaka Correctional Facility, which is commonly known as Chimbokai. Our client was arrested last week Thursday for the offense of trespass, as well as proposing violence. So we don't understand. He met the conditions of bail as well as bond now, but there's nothing that has happened. The officer in charge hasn't been answering. So we look forward to making other avenues as lawyers, and we'll run with it. Thank you.
President Savoy, what do you make of the detention tomorrow? Gabriel will clock 7 days in police over a bondable and bailable offense. Your statement?
Well, first and foremost, this is one of those cases which shows you that the UPND government and President HH never stick to what it is that they say. They say one thing and they do something else. They said when they formed government, even when they got into government, that nobody will spend more than 48 hours in the cells. But we see that things are even becoming worse these days. Right now, Gabriel is supposed to be out. They've moved him from one police station to the other. I think from Kanakantapa to Charleston, and right now at Chimbokaila. So what is this all about? You know, even when the court has ordered to say he should come out, they're failing to do that. So this should not happen. If really somebody has committed a crime according to them, then that person is supposed to go to court. So for them to continue, you know, detaining people and punishing people with judicial punishments, it shows that they don't even have strong cases in most cases. All they want is to punish somebody before they go to court, because they know that when they go to court, at least the judges are going to be fair. So at the end of the day, I think for me and for us as Zambians, any concerned Zambian, I think these are things that we should really, really talk against. It's very, very unfair, you know, and the president should really, really take a keen interest in this. I know that it works for him. Maybe he's the one who's giving the orders, we don't know. But the indictment that I'm going to put is on the president himself and nobody else. The Minister of Home Affairs as well. He's a very reasonable person. We expect him to act reasonably and come in and just talk about and talk against these things. It's becoming too much, you know. So 7 days, Gabriel has been inside. A habeas corpus right now has been signed, isn't it? And all that. Yeah, they have been ordered to release him, but nothing is happening. So it's very, very unfair.
Thank you so much.
You're muted, Chaza. Yes, I can see that my colleagues have been kicked out of the studio due to technical problems. I will, however, continue. I hope it's okay, Chibonta. Should I go ahead and react?
Yes, Kelpai, go ahead, yes.
Yes. You know, we have a provision. We have the law in Zambia, and the police, they have the right to detain somebody, and they can actually, for as long as that person, if he does not pose any threat to the society, the police are at liberty to release that person on police bond, if at all the case the person is facing is bondable or bailable. Bailable, it's maybe at the courts where the matter is before the courts of law. That's when you can come up with the bail application. But when it comes to bond at the police level, where someone is under police custody, yes, if the police, they find within their mandate that this person or the case that person has been charged, he poses he poses a danger if we are to release him, and the police have to either want to proceed with that matter, take it to court. The police have that discretion to use. And if the suspect or their lawyer, they feel that that individual's right been violated, and the police are acting ultra-viriously or acting outside the law, the detention is illegal, they have the right to go to court and apply either for a habeas corpus application. Habeas corpus application, simply means bring the body, meaning bring that person to appear before the court of law. Okay? And how does the police bring that body? They have to take that person to appear before the court of law. Habeas corpus does not mean release that person. No. Bring that person to the courts of law. That's what it means when you apply for a habeas corpus. So if the police are failing to, then they have to deal with the matter with the court. The court has the right and the power to instruct the prosecutors or the police to make that suspect to avail themselves before the courts of law. It is the same as subpoenaed, when the court summon you to come and appear before the court. But in this instance, according to the politician, because I'm a politician, they always want to play everything, like Chibonta put it, to say, in Zambia, everything these days is politics. They politicize almost everything. Even when a criminal has committed a crime, a chap is charged with criminal offense, and the case is either unbailable or it is a very sensitive case where police are still investigating the matter. And they know that by releasing that person may hinge into, it may disturb their investigations. The police have the power, okay? Under the constitutional law that we have, yes, the police cannot hold somebody beyond 48 hours. If that person is not brought before the court, then he either must be released, or they can simply send that person to prison, to remand prison, okay? That is no longer in the hand of the police. And this is what I believe has happened, that the police have now taken this person to correctional people, the service, where the suspect is now Kuchimbwakaya, meaning is no longer within the police jurisdiction. The police can only deal with that person kukoti when they are required to come and give evidence on what transpired, what happened. Now it is the court. And the court can order, while someone is under Chimbwakaya, the court can order its release if that person meets the bail conditions. I'm a lawyer, as you know this, but what I hear, you are trying to politicize everything. That's why you brought Imboela. When Imboela, they will never say. That's why you see them now pointing at who? Going to the president. What has the president got to do with this chap who is faced with criminal allegations? Leave the president out of this. It doesn't mean that when everyone that is arrested, then is arrested at the pleasure of the president. Leave the president out of this. The president maybe has no idea. So the police have the case against this guy. If the police fail to make that person appear before the court, then it's the police that have an issue, and it's the court that will have an issue, that will have the bone to chew with the police. If anything, also, the suspect have the right to sue. If they want, they can go ahead and sue the state for forced imprisonment. It is their prerogative. It is their duty. It's their right. When your rights are being violated, by the state, you can also seek for recourse. You can get a recourse. You don't have to worry. Let the police fumble right now. And if you have a good case against the police, then you will be awarded. But remember, the police also have the right, under the same constitution, to keep you for as long as they deem fit, that you are not posing any danger. So they have also defense to defend themselves over these allegations of forced imprisonment or prolonging a detention, which is something so different from what used to happen. At least this chap has been charged and the case is going before the court of law. So let's wait and hear what the court will say. Now that the habeas corpus application have been filed in, and the lawyers, they know the case is going to go to court, and the body is going to be taken to the court. The suspect will be taken to court. So there's no foul play here. Let's just say it's just the law system. If he's been transferred from one place to another, let's ask the police. They have their own reasons to why they are doing those things. If they've acted ultra-viriously, you have cause of action. Go ahead and get the state, but don't bring it to the media and start politicizing and start pointing fingers that the government has done this or the president has done this. Deal with a specific issue that is faced by individual.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mukelabai. We do appreciate. And CJ has actually, fallen off. Connectivity has been a challenge. And a couple of minutes also, I was thrown out. I was a victim. Okay, we can then proceed and take a look at the next story, seeing that CJ is not here. Then when he comes, you give us, his point of view as regards, the story that he will find us on. Let's move on.
These are some of the cracks that have been created on some houses in Maloni area of Lusaka West. The cracks, dust and noise have become the order of the day as a result of the blasting activities being conducted at Albatross Mining Limited. Following concerns raised by affected community members, it is for this reason that the Zambia Environmental Management Agency, ZEMA, has suspended the mining activities after inspecting the mine and the affected houses.
Because of the abrogation of these conditions, the agency has decided to suspend this facility, Albatross Mining, with effect from today, until they put in place all the measures, the corrective measures that they're supposed to put in place in order for them to operate as expected by the agency.
Meanwhile, some community members have explained how they have been affected by the mining activities in the area.
There's too much dust, man. More especially in the night. When you wake up in the morning, you can even be surprised.
Albatross Mining Limited Executive Director Kelvin Zan has since promised to ensure the company fulfills all the environmental laws as soon as possible.
I'm going to put everything in place and then try my best to recover all these things, and then also try my best to recover all these compound people, and then do our best. We feel guilty to do, like, say, the damage, but we will recover and then we will do better.
Non-compliance to environmental laws has been on the rise recently, but ZEMA hopes the community engagements and random inspections would deter would-be offenders. Blessings Chibuye, ZNBC.
There we have it, some pollution there and, complications, health complications as a result of, that illegal mining activities. Mr. Mukelabai, what do you make of, this story?
Well, thank you so much, Chaza. We know very well.
Mr. Mukelabai, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Chaza? I know that you can hear me. Or if you can't hear me, then it's the problem with your your line, but I'll continue with what I can say for now. Well, we all well know that Chinese companies, they are known worldwide that they have the most poorest safety records anywhere in the world, especially in the mining industry, or any undertaking, any building or any construction that they take, their safety is below par. And sometimes one wonders why our authorities, our boards that we have, these institutions that are in charge of taking care of our people that are employed or affected by the investors from China, we wonder why they take so long. So it is about time. When we see such closure, then we can tell that at least now they are working. I promise you, like the director himself of that company promised that he's now going to look into that. Do you mean that he did not know before he put the plant or the mine? He didn't know about the safety of the people, or he didn't just care? People that gave him the license to do those things, did they not outline all these the dangers that he should comply with? The safety, especially safety measures. Environmental justice hasn't been done well in Africa, especially in Zambia, by the Chinese investors. Most of the Chinese investors are known for violating safety rules in the whole wide world. And one wonders why today we still see the same happening. Our people are being killed at the hand of our so-called Chinese investors who abrogate the laws of safety. So it is important that what the government has done now, or that department, for going to close that, it is time over. I know that the consequences, the ramifications can be, there will be a chain reaction if at all the mine is closed. The very people that are building by the mine or that have built by the mine will be affected in one or the other because they have no jobs. But better safe, better be safe than never, where you are dead, you are killed by because someone is just looking for profit. So it is important that the government and all those governing boards that are in charge of safety and looking at the welfare of the environment and the people should step in and use their power to mitigate these challenges that our people are going through. Most of our people are not even privy to their rights. They don't know what their rights are when it comes to environmental justice. We need to protect our people. Like that woman was saying, that when she wakes up in the night, you find there's dust that's pollution. You are polluting and you are not saying a word because a millionaire is making money. People are going to die of respiratory diseases. They have TB. They have a lot of kind of diseases that are going to affect their generation or the people that are living within it. They don't know the chemicals they are busy breathing. So it is high time the government and those people who are placed in charge of to make sure that they should come out and protect the citizens or protect the environment. So kudos to the institution that went ahead and took a step in the right direction by stopping that company from killing our citizens. Houses are being broken, yes, and suing them. They are big millionaires, multi-millionaire companies. They can simply settle those. But when you come out like that as a government to act, you show leadership, you show care to your people. Unlike where you're just interested in giving either tax holidays to people that are killing your own people, at the same time you are just getting dividends but you don't know the consequences. So I feel that was a good move by the institution that went in and stopped, and that until that Chinese company make sure that they improve on the safety to protect the people. If anything, the mine should be closed for good. We don't care. We would rather save people so they can even go and start cultivating their land than working for a company that is busy killing their own people. They just work for 5 years, they are dead because of TB, mrefu kumalwele, preventable diseases. Awe. Namensh, they pollute everything around there. So that move was best. Better millionaires bawere kumiawo and save our people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mkelebai. CJ, welcome back, and your reaction to this story. Unfortunately, we have once again, lost him. Let's, go to the next story, and we see you on the other side.
House, I'm asserting my role to help you. I want to help you. You can't. The rules don't allow you to do that. But it's here. That order, that is one of your rules, but on the point of order, rules how you can raise the point of order, it's not allowed. How? Read your rules. They won't
Mr.
allow.
Speaker,
that is one of your rules.
If you allowed me to speak,
may you take your seat, honorable member? Take your seat. Yes. It's not allowed. So your point of order is not admitted. Honorable member for Kafinsa, let's proceed.
Mr. Speaker, this is what you're causing a problem now in the House. Don't say no. Don't say no. You're causing a problem in the House.
Honorable member for Kafinsa.
For as long as you're only going to allow those to speak, there's going to be a problem here. We are ready to be punished, Mr. Speaker. We will not continue with this mediocre. We will not continue with this mediocre. For as long as you only allow them to speak, my members cannot speak. No, we can't allow this. This is a house of order. I am ready to face the consequences on behalf of my members. I cannot continue.
Sergeant at arms. Sergeant at arms. Ensure that the leader of opposition is out of the house. Sergeant at arms, do your job. Ensure that he's out.
There we have it, that story, some fracas in Parliament, even though it played with some difficulty. It was hanging and also breaking at some point. I hope you actually, got the story behind what happened in Parliament. Mr. Mkelebai.
Oh, thank you so much, Chaza. What happened in Parliament by the leaders of opposition is something that is very uncalled for, and I think the leader of opposition needs to apologize to the office of the speaker for having come out or conducted himself in such unprofessional and such insubordination act. To me, the leaders of opposition was way out of order. He was not supposed to have come out like that, where you can stand up without being recognized. When you are being told, you are being guided by the speaker, and then you go and object what the speaker has guided at the time, and then you want to do it your ways, your kangaroo ways. He acted ultra-viously, and he abrogated the rules of the house, and he needs to be put in his rightful place. That was very unruly. That was very unprofessional, even to just people that are just commonly watching to see how they act, how he came out. That was so disrespectful. You can tell that he took the matter beyond the parliamentarian decorum. He did not care. He even stated to say, I don't care whether I'm being punished for protecting, for defending. But what you have to understand is not that you're defending your people there. There are rules in every given institution. And when you're in parliament, you are given directions or directives that you all ought to follow. So to me, even though if he felt that he was unfairly treated, was that the rightful way to deal with the matter? For him to have even caused the presiding speaker to order him to vacate parliament because he was behaving in a disorganized or disorderly manner. So to me, that was unprofessional, and the gentleman, if he's punished for that or suspended, we know that he acted very, very poorly. Because that, to me, was very unparliamentarian, and he should not even be allowed. Balefo cooperation with South Africa, with EFF Malema. Unfortunately, they are doing it in the wrong way. They should be objective like Malema. Malema is very objective in his claims. Okay? But we know that the parliament, you are protected while you are in there. You know, you're protected by the same parliament rules. So if the leader of opposition had an issue with the presiding, because we can tell that he has an issue with the presiding officer or the deputy speaker. So that he should find an avenue where he could table his grievances, not the way he came out like that. He just exhibited his ignorance, and he just exhibited his unprofessionalism. And this is the member of parliament that has been in parliament for years, and today he comes out like that, speaking to the speaker. What do you take to that? What do you do with such a person? So we are not going to be surprised if he is punished or kicked out of parliament. We are not going to support such kind of mediocrity, because that is mediocre. It is him. You can't tell the speaker A speaker is almost as a judge. You can't go in his domain in the court of law and insult the judge and expect to have a good judgment or judgment in your favor. That is his domain. That is where he thrives with he has his powers. And you go and speak against the person that is going to preside over you. How foolish can you be? Whether you want to throw your tantrums, those tantrums were misplaced. So if the leader of opposition was throwing me tantrums, he should have gone after parliament to go and throw those tantrums elsewhere, outside parliament, not in the house, where that's the speaker's domain. Those parliamentarians, members of parliament, they are under the speaker. The speaker has the final say. They can rule. If you have an issue with their ruling, you can take the matter to court. But the speaker has the right to decide how the decorum of the house should proceed. You cannot go there and start throwing tantrums. Speakers are like judges. Their decisions there is final. If you're not happy with the decision, go to court. So Munduvile is acting as though a lawyer. He knows, and Munduvile should be disciplined for that. Even the Law Association of Zambia should step in. So you don't throw tantrums like that just because you're a politician. That was childish, very childish, and immature. Even if you are not happy with the ruling, you cannot try to insult or demean the office of the speaker. That was very shameful. That was very dishonest. And that guy should be ashamed of himself. If he's been lied to by his friends, thinking that by coming out like that, you're going to be popular, you're going to be liked, he's losing it. He's just throwing his career in the mud. So he should apologize. Even when the speaker was wrong, you were not supposed to do the way he acted. If the speaker was wrong, yes, they're a human being. They can actually decide otherwise. But is that the way we should handle disputes or conflicts or misunderstanding? Come on. Munduvile should grow up, and he should be ashamed of himself for that action. That was very childish and foolish. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Mukilawai, I think you hold it there. Let's get to hear what CJ, has, if at all he has succeeded to connect. CJ, are you here?
Yes, I am. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, and welcome back. Your reaction to this particular story.
Thank you, Chaza. Now, sometimes I get worried with this working out by by opposition every now and again, because it means now the constituencies get to suffer. Okay, it means proper debate is not going to be done because it will just be one-sided. I'm not very knowledgeable about the rules of parliament, but from what the acting speaker was saying was that their rules do not allow a point of order to be raised against the house, okay, or against an officer of the house, which is what Honorable Mundu will try to do. Perhaps the acting speaker should have guided to say, do this instead. I see most of the time Speaker Muti usually does that. okay? And it helps even other parliamentarians to learn some of these things. And even for us that are just observing and watching, we get to know some of these things when that kind of guidance is given. Unlike the way the acting speaker came out by just cutting everything and saying that is not allowed, sergeant at arms, and you saw even the sergeant at arms hesitated.
You see, gentlemen, what you have to understand, CJ, sorry to cut you. What you have to understand is that when you are in parliament, the man that sits or the woman that sits in front of you, that's the authority. And anything they will decide how they want their house is going to operate. And if you are misbehaving and they in their own mindset and they discover that you are acting beyond what or you are about to act or say things that are not making any sense, at any given time, they have the right to discontinue or stop you at any, it's their domain. If you have an issue, if you have an issue with them, you take it up with rightful, appropriate action. Don't start throwing tantrums in front of them. They will disappoint you. Their way will carry the day.
We are not disputing the authority, but we're looking at the aspect of healthy debate in Parliament. And we have seen this like being a trend, okay? You know, we are looking at the best interest of the House so that there's a healthy debate. When this
I hear you, CJ, I hear you. But at the end of the day, the presiding officer decision carries the day at that particular time, at that particular moment, unless it is challenged by way of judicial review, or you go to the highest authority, the judiciary, and appeal to say I was mistreated.
And the way it is being done, the opposition are riding on the fact that debates are being curtailed, and as a result, you know, you saw the way Honorable Munduvile was reacting to say every time that the opposition wants to debate, they are always being stopped. It's only the ruling that are free to speak in Parliament. So
no. That's not true. But that's what they think, because they always oppose everything. And when someone wants to speak against them, you see, this is what you have to understand. They were once in power, and they know how it is when you are there on the other side.
So if the acting speaker would have guided Honorable Munduvile to say the route that you have used, okay, in raising a point of order against the House is not correct.
But that's what
you need to do. No, he just ended there. Let me finish my submission. If he had guided to say, for what you want to raise, do A, B, C, D, are you going to tell me Honorable Munduvile would have still reacted the way he did?
That's what the speaker did. But do you know? No. Did you see the reaction of the member of parliament?
That's not what the acting speaker did. He just said sit down.
CJ,
he just said sit down, CJ, and he called the next.
Yes, and he said sit down.
Mr. Mkelewai, just hold it there. Let's get the thoughts that CJ has. Then I'll give you a chance to react. CJ, you can continue with your thought.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, I've seen this with with Nelly Muti, where she's going to allow the member of parliament say what he's saying, then she will interject and then guide to say, the route that you've taken, that's not the proper thing. What you need to do is A, B, C, D. And that way, whoever is on the floor is guided and they follow what they're supposed to do. Unlike what happened when he just said, that is not allowed, sit down, and then he called for the next member of parliament to raise whatever they had.
Yes.
So
and what was that wrong?
The commotion.
Was that wrong?
Okay, anyway, that is my thought, because
Yes.
parliament, there's supposed to be healthy debate where the House is able to tackle issues and even guidance is given. Yes, we know that Honorable Mundile are supposed to know the rules and they're experienced and all this, but once in a while, for the sake of a healthy debate, I think there is need to, give the guidance. And it's not breaking the rules, but guide them to say what you have done is not correct. Do this, unlike just cut everything.
No. The demeanor. Sorry to come in. The demeanor, okay, of the speaker. The demeanor of the speaker, my brother, he was actually in a rightful. He was much in a calm way and very respectful way. Okay. He just told, he was trying to guide there. Okay. No, you cannot go that route. Listen, he was just watch the video. You see whether the reaction of Mr. Mundubire was appropriate from what the speaker said. The best thing he could have done was to simply sit down and say, if he had an issue, they have handsets. They could go and play back whatever and this was live. They can even watch. And then the speaker will be guided. But you don't expose your ignorance and your frustration like that.
But
no.
The deputy, but when the deputy
I stand with the deputy. On this one, I stand with the deputy speaker. He was right. He was within the
fire.
The speaker was within the power.
All right. Mr. Mukelebai, thank you so much. CJ, thank you so much. I think your positions there are very clear. Mr. Mukelebai is going, for the deputy speaker of the National Assembly there. And CJ is actually against. He's saying he could have done better by, indicating that is not supposed to be done. And the correct way of, doing it is ABCD, which he feels was not done. And this is the design of this program. It's called My Point of View. We have divergent views as regards the stories of the week. If you do want to participate, you can join us next time right here in the same space on our Ubuntu channel. My name is Chaza, right here, your host. And I've been with CJ Chibonta there and Mr. Mukelebai. Till next time, God bless you all.